Hello friends. So today we are going to do unit 12, that is called bills of exchange of EAP. So in this video we are going to learn what is bills of exchange, what is promissory note, what is check and what is difference between them. So let us start. First of all we have to know what is bills of exchange. So bills of exchange is nothing but it is a written unconditional order by one party. Means this is an unconditional order given by one party and that party is called drawer to the another party. That another party is called try. Means this is the order given by one party to the other party to pay a certain sum of money, either immediately or on a fixed date. Immediately, if it is there, it becomes side bill. If it is on a fixed date, it becomes turn bill. For payment of goods or services received. So here condition is there. There has to be payment of goods. Payment means payment for the payment of goods you are going to do or service received. Who has received services? That means drawer has received services. That's why one party means drawer has written one order, means you pay me certain sum of money either on this day or immediately. Okay, and what happened? This bill is sent to the drawer and drawer accept the bill by signing it. Means signature of drawer is required, is very much required, thus converting it into a post-dated check. When drawer has signed the bill, that means he has accepted, means now he has become responsible. Okay, it has become his obligation to pay a sum of money. So that become a binding contract and it is also called as a draft. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again here. What is bill of exchange? So bill of exchange, it is a written unconditional order by drawer to the drawer to pay a certain sum of money either on a fixed date or immediately. Why he'll pay? He will pay for payment of goods or services received. Who will receive services? Services must have been received by drawer. Okay. Now we'll see what are the following conditions are required to be fulfilled. Means when somebody's draw up bills of exchange, who will draw the bills of exchange? Drawer will draw the bills of exchange. Okay. What are the conditions are required? So condition are number one, bill should be properly dated. Okay. That means bill must have date. Okay. It must contain an order. That is the drawer of the instrument direct the drawer to pay certain sum of money to pay. Right? Must be signed by maker of the bill. That means whoever is drawing the bill, he must sign the bill. And last condition is that drawing must accept bill. Okay, it's necessary condition. If he is not accepting, that will not be a bill of exchange. Okay, and order to pay money only as well as amounts should be definite. Means order will be only in term of money. Means drawer cannot ask you pay me two TVs. You pay me some of that. You will not say that instead of money he cannot say you pay me something other things. Means whatever order is there that must be in term of money only. Okay, and delivery of the bill is very much required. That means it's not drawer is making the bill and keeping with himself. Okay, so it must be handed over to drawer. Clear? Now, what are the parties of bill of exchange? So we'll now see how many parties are there. So we'll see one by one. A bill of exchange has three parties. This is very important. A bill of exchange has three parties. Number one is a drawer. Number two is drawer, and number third is pay. Clear? Now we'll see one by one. Who's drawer, who's drawer, and who is pay. The drawer is the maker of a bill of exchange. That means the person who's making the bill is called drawer. Bill is signed by drawer. Means who is making the bill, he must sign the bill. Okay. A creditor who is entitled to receive payment from the debtor can draw a bill. Now, anyone cannot draw, or drawer cannot say you draw the bill on behalf of me. That means a creditor. Creditor means the person who has rendered the services, or the person who has sold the items, goods. That is person is responsible, or he is entitled to draw the bill. That means the creditor will sign the bill. Okay, that means he will be called as a drawer. Now, who is drawing? Drawer is a person upon whom bill of exchange is drawn. Means the person who's owning the amount, he will be the drawer. Okay, and drawer is the debtor. That means the person who has to pay. That means who's the debtor has to pay the amount to the drawer. So drawer is the person who's the debtor with the drawer. Now, he is also known as acceptor. That means this bill must be accepted by the drawer. Now, what is the third party? It will be surprising to know here. We have seen the drawer, we have seen the drawer. Then why the third person is coming? Is a payee. Payee is a person to whom payment has to be made. Means the payee sometimes may be same as drawer, or some may be third person also. Because drawer may direct to drawer to pay a certain sum of money to third person also. That means payee either may be same person or drawer, or payee may be different from the drawer also. Okay, so this point you may be clear. So I'll repeat once again here. A bill of exchange has three parties. Number one is called the drawer. Number two is called the drawer. And number third is called the payee. Okay, sometimes payee and drawer are the same. Sometimes payee and drawer are different. Okay. Now I'll take an example. Say company ABC purchases auto parts from car supply XYZ. That means ABC and XYZ are two companies, and ABC is purchasing auto parts from car supplier, that is called XYZ, for rupees 25,000. Car supply XYZ draw a bill of exchange because XYZ has supplied these parts. So car supply company XYZ has supplied the auto parts to ABC. That means XYZ has to receive 25,000 from ABC company. So car supply XYZ draw a bill of exchange. That means whoever is receiving the amount, he become the creditor, and he will draw a bill of exchange, becoming the drawer and pay in this case. That means because he is drawing a bill and he will receive the payment. So in this situation, drawer and pay are same. Okay. The bill of exchange stipulates that company ABC will pay car supply XYZ rupees 25,000 in 90 days. Okay, so that means he has drawn a bill of exchange. Who has drawn the bill of exchange? Who has drawn the bill of exchange? That means XYZ, because XYZ has purchased the auto parts. Okay, sorry, ABC has purchased. So XYZ will receive the payment 25,000. So the company who is receiving the payment, he will draw the bills of exchange. Car supply XYZ will present the bill of exchange to company ABC for payment. Okay, because ABC XYZ is the creditor and ABC is the debtor. So car XYZ will present bill of exchange to company ABC for the payment. Bill of exchange. Now, let us see here. The ABC company become the drawer and accept the bill of exchange, and goods are shipped. That means the ABC become the drawer and accept the bill, and bill of exchange was made and goods were shipped. In 90 days, car supply XYZ will present the bill of exchange to the company ABC for the payment. The bill of exchange was an acknowledgement created by car supply XYZ. Okay, that means the company has accepted. Who has accepted here? That means who has purchase. That means company ABC because has to pay, so they have acknowledged this. Okay, so that becomes the written document that ABC company will pay to XYZ. Okay, 25,000 rupees. So XYZ, I once again written here. XYZ is called creator and ABC becomes the debtor. Okay. Now we'll see what is promissory note. So promissory note is just opposite to bill of exchange. Just opposite. So this is also a financial instrument that contains a written promise by one party to pay another party a definite sum of money either on demand or at a specified future date. Okay, so this is the promise to pay. That means promise to pay. Now the person has become different. That means here the person who's the debtor, he's promising to creditor that I will pay. And bill of exchange is was opposite. In bill of exchange, the creditor was drawing the bill. It was accepted by debtor. Now here debtor is making the bill. Means himself is making. He's promising I'll pay on certain date. So a promissory note typically contains all terms pertaining to indebtedness by the issuer or the maker to notes pay, such as amount, interest rate, maturity date, place of issuance, and issuer's signature. Okay, so it has all terms or conditions. Promissory note that are unconditional sellable becomes negotiable instrument. That means promissory notes are also negotiable instrument. Okay, that are extensively used in business transaction in numerous countries. A promissory note is usually held by payee. Okay, once the debt has been discharged, it must be cancelled by the payee and returned to the issuer. So I have seen here, means we have discussed here what is promissory note. So promissory note is unconditional written statement given by, it is made by the, means it is promised by the debtors to the creditor that I will pay this certain sum of money. Okay, and it must contains all terms and conditions. Okay, indebtedness, issuer signature, date, interest rate, maturity date, and place of issue. Okay, now we'll see what are the parties of promissory note. So here are only two parties. Okay, here are only two parties. In bills of exchange, there were three parties. So one is the maker, that means also called the drawer, and second is the pay. So we'll see one by one. Maker or drawer is an individual or entity who makes or draws the promissory note, be they promise to pay a certain sum of money. Okay, mentioned in the promissory note, maker is also known as promiser. That means he is making the promise. Correct? So is the maker is the drawer also. So that means he's the debtor. He's making promise himself. Pay is the person in whose favor the promissory note is drawn. Okay, so that means he's become the pay means the person who is receiving the money. Okay. Now we'll see what are the features of promissory note or as enter. Okay. The note must be in writing, carrying written promise to pay money to creditors. So this is the written only, the verbal will not be accepted. And it is promised to pay to the creditors. Number two, signature of the promisor, that's the drawer of the note must be there. So signature is very much required in both the cases, the bill of exchange as well as in promissory note. The date on which the note is payable should be fixed. Okay, so that means date should be fixed on which date you are going to make the payment. Both the promisers and promisee need to be certain. Okay, that means you have to mention, that means one person, individual will pay and individual will receive. There should not be any ambiguity. Okay, only fixed person. Correct? That means I'll just take one example, right? Ram is making a promise, that means he's making the promissory note and he's paying to Shyam. There should not be any ambiguity. That means, okay, Shyam or his brother. So this becomes the ambiguity. So promiser and promisee need to be certain. Okay, sum of money must be definite. So whatever money you are going to pay, that money should be fixed. For example, let's say Ram is going to pay 10,000 rupees, so he must mention, okay, I'll pay 10,000 rupees. He should not say approximate 10,000 rupees, okay, or nearby 10,000 rupees. So this is not accepted in promissory note. Okay, countries legal currency should be used for discharge of debt. Okay, that means in India we are using rupees, so that rupees must be mentioned. Okay, in lieu of Indian currency you cannot do anything, right? Whatever promissory note you are making, that should be in terms of rupees only. Okay, in lieu of rupee, nothing is accepted. Okay, Ram cannot say, okay, I'll pay two TVs worth 10,000 rupees. Okay, or we'll pay one laptop worth 10,000 rupees to Shyam. So this is not accepted. Only legal currency is accepted to discharge the debt. And one more last point is very, very important. Promissory note does not include a currency note or a bank note. That means Indian rupee is not considered as promissory note. It is not coming in the category of the promissory note. Okay, so this is very, very important. This question can be asked sometimes. What is the status of the Indian rupee? So Indian rupee is not coming in the category of promissory note. Now we'll see what are the key differences between bill of exchange and promissory note. So following are the major differences between the bill of exchange and promissory note. Number one, bill of exchange is a financial instrument showing the money owed by the buyer toward the seller, right? Whereas the promissory note is a written document in which the debtor promises the creditor that amount due will be paid at future specified date. So this is the basic difference between bill of exchange and promissory note. That means bill of exchange is drawn by the creditor, accepted by debtor, whereas in promissory note is made by debtor, handed over to creditor. Clear? Is opposite. And number two, bill of exchange is defined section 5 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1981, whereas promissory note is defined in section 4 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Correct? So 4 and 5 you can remember. That means section 4, 5 promissory note and section 5 for the negotiable instrument. So promissory note is coming first, section 4, and bill of exchange coming section 5. Okay, both are of the Negotiable Instrument Act. Correct? Now number third, in a bill of exchange there are three parties we have discussed already. Drawer, drawee and pay. While in the promissory note the number of parties are two. Okay, drawer and drawee. Clear? Number fourth, creditors creates bill of exchange. On the other hand, promissory note is prepared by debtor itself. So this point we have already discussed. Next, the liability of the maker of the bill of exchange is secondary and conditional. So I'll repeat once again here. Liability of the, because bill of exchange are made by the creditor himself. So liability of the maker of the bill of exchange is secondary and conditional. Conversely, the liability of the maker of the promissory note is primary and absolute. That means the debtor himself is making, he's accepting. Okay, debtor himself is accepting, I'll pay this amount. So he's making the promise. Whereas bill of exchange, the creditors is making the bill of exchange, that has to be accepted by the drawee. Okay, now next, bill of exchange can be made in copies. You can make the number of copies, but promissory note cannot be made in sets. Only one promissory note is required. Okay. Next, in the case of bill of exchange, the drawer and payee can be same person. Okay, which is not possible in case of promissory note. That means because in bill of exchange there are three persons. So drawer, drawee, payee. So sometimes what happens, drawee and payee becomes same person, but in promissory note only two persons are there. So that's not possible. Correct? Now, very, very important point. Notice of dishonor of bill of exchange must be must be given to all the parties concerned. Okay, so notice of dishonor of the bill of exchange must be given to all parties concerned. However, in the case of promissory note, such notice need not be given to the maker. Okay, so that means if bill of exchange is dishonored, this notice must be given to all parties concerned. That means three persons are there. You must give all this notice to all three persons. Okay, so these were the difference between the bills of exchange and promissory note. Now we'll see what is the check. Okay, so what are the characteristics of a check? It must be in writing. So check must be in writing. An oral order to pay does not constitute a check. You also might have seen working in a bank that check is always written. Okay, and it must be drawn on a banker. That means it is always drawn on a specified banker, means bank. Okay, a check can be drawn on a bank where a drawer has an account, saving account or a current account. That means the person who is drawing a check, he must have an account. Okay, it contains an unconditional order to pay. A check cannot be drawn so as to payable on conditionally. That means who is drawing the check, he cannot put any condition. Any condition means he cannot mention, okay, he have written the amount and will say when you become 18 years, then you can take the amount. Or when your brother got married, then only you can take the amount. So he cannot put any condition. The drawer's order to the drawing bank must be unconditional and should not make the check payable dependent on the contingency. Okay, and a conditional check shall be invalid. If he is putting any condition, that means that check will be invalid. Okay, the check must have an order to pay a certain sum. The check should contain an order to pay a certain sum of money only. That means check can be drawn only in money, in terms of rupees only. If check is drawn to do something in addition or other than pay money, it cannot be a check. You cannot say you go to bank and receive uh, two bundles of paper from the bank. Okay, so this is not accepted in the case of check. You have to write only the amount and bank will pay only the amount. Clear? Next is that it should be signed by the drawer. It's very much required and should be dated. It's also very much required. A check does not carry any validity unless signed by the original drawer and it should be dated as well. So date and signature are very much required. Okay, next, it is payable on demand. So check is always payable on demand. Check is always payment on demand only. Now coming to the validity, normally the validity of check is 3 months. Okay, earlier it was 6 months, now it has been reduced to 3 months. Correct? And it is also called post dated and anti-dated check also. If it is given the future, you can put the future date also. So that becomes the post dated. And if date is presented after the written date, so it becomes the anti-dated check. But it must be within 3 months. Okay. Anti-dated check must be within 3 months of the date written on the check. Okay. Next point, it may be payable to the drawer. That means drawer can also draw check himself. That means you can write your name itself. That means you can say pay self. You might have seen the self check. So these are has been drawn by the drawer himself. Correct? So now next, banker is liable. Now coming next point, banker is liable only to the drawer. This is very important. That means whoever has drawn the check, the bank is responsible or bank is liable to the drawer only. That means to whom drawer is not responsible, to whom the check has been drawn, is bank is not responsible for that person. Okay, and if check is dishonored, so bank is liable to drawer only, and so whatever action he is going to take, he will take against the drawer only. Correct? And very important point, it does not require any acceptance or stamp. Correct? Unlike bills of exchange and promissory note, we have to put a stamp. So in check, nothing is required. Only nothing, no acceptance is required. Only date, signature, amount is required. Okay. So these were the all characteristics of the check. Now let us see what is difference between promissory note and a check. So these are the difference between promissory note and a check. Now promissory note, it contains a promise to pay the pay. Check is drawn over a specified banker to pay the pay. So this is the difference. Okay, that means in promissory note, the debtor is making the promise that he will pay to the pay, but here the check is drawn over a banker to pay the pay, and pay may be drawn also. Promissory note becomes payable at a fixed date or on demand, whereas check is already on demand. Correct? What is the meaning of on demand? That means you go to bank and get the amount. Means on any date within the 3 months, you can go any date to the bank, you can get the amount. Correct? Whereas the promissory note, I'll coming back once again, it is payable on the fixed date or on demand. Clear? So under the promissory note, it is instrument that cannot be crossed. Okay, if promissory note is crossed, it become invalid. Whereas checks are usually crossed. Okay, you might have seen the checks are crossed and checks are uncrossed also. Number 4 point. Promissory note, the maker and pay are only parties in the promissory note transaction. Two persons are here. Maker and pay. But in checks are used, there may be many three parties involved. Drawer, drawee, okay, and pay. Correct? So check, many persons may be there, right? So these were the difference between the promissory note and check. Now we'll see some terminology which will be useful because question may come out of this also. They can ask the question, what is the term of bill or the period of the bill? So it is a time period between the date on which bill is drawn and the date on which it is payable, because the drawer must be mentioning the date on which date we are going to pay or you have to pay. So this is the period between date on which bill is drawn and date on which it is payable. If it is 90 days, the period will be of the 90 days. That means from the date it is made and date on which it is payable. It's called the period of the bill. Due date. It is date on which the payment of bill is due. Let us suppose that today is the 1st January and bill is payable for 90 days. So naturally, 1st January, February, March. Okay. So next 1st March will be payable. That means 90 days. Now, in addition to that, there are number of days as a grace also. That's called days of grace. There are 3 extra days added to the period of the bill. This is very, very important. Means after due date, 3 days are given as a grace period. Okay, you might have seen this telecom companies also giving to pay the bill now 3 days extra. So 3 days extra means 90 plus 3, 93 days are given. Correct? So that date becomes the date of maturity. Means in due date, if you add 3 days as a grace, that becomes the date of maturity. So what is the date of maturity? The date which comes after adding 3 days of grace to the period of the bill is called the date of maturity. Now, discounting of bill. It means encashment of bill before the date of maturity. Okay. Means if you are discounting the bill, means you are encashing the bill before the date of maturity is called discounting of the bill. Okay. But if you are discounting before the date of maturity, bank will charge some charges. Bank will say the bank will take some charges for that. And what is called endorsement of bill? So endorsement of bill means transfer of bill or promissory note to another person. Okay, even check can be endorsed also. So it is transfer on account of settlement of debt or dues. Like somebody has drawn the bill. Okay, and DROI has accepted the bill, but DROI can endorse to some other third person also. Okay, so this is called endorsement of bill. Correct. Now next, bill sent for collection. When a bill is sent to the bank for collection with instruction that it will be retained till maturity date, means the drawer or DROI, whoever is having the bill, if he's sending for collection to the bank with some instructions, okay, so and he will give the instruction, okay, you keep this bill till maturity and on the due date you encash it. So bill will be realized on its due date. It is known as bill sent for collection. Okay, so who is the holder of the bill, he can send to the bank for collection. Bank will keep the bill, and on the due date he will pay to the creditors. Okay, now dishonor of bill. When payment is not made by the acceptor of bill on due date, that means if debtor is not paying the bill on due date, it is called dishonor. That means he has dishonor. Okay, so it is known as dishonor of the bill. Next, non-payment may be due to insufficient balance or insolvency. That means the debtor may not be having the sufficient balance in the bank account, so it may be dishonored. Okay, or insolvency. Now, noting of a bill. On dishonor of a bill, when this fact is brought to the notice of notary public, it is termed as a noting of bill. This is the case of bill of exchange. Okay, so means if bill is dishonored, this is brought to the notice of notary public, and notary public takes some charges to take the noting. Correct. So noting charges, fees paid to the notary public for noting of dishonor of the bill. Clear? Retiring of the bill. When DROI pays the bill before its due date, correct, it is termed as retirement of bill. That means debtor is paying before the due date. It's called retiring of the bill. Okay, it happens with the mutual understanding between drawer and drawing only. Okay, that means debtor may be telling, okay, I'll pay in advance, no problem, before due date. So it's called the retiring of the bill. Okay, to encourage the retiring of the bill, the holder allows some discount. Okay, that means the creditor will be telling, okay, I'll give you some discount, you pay me in advance. Correct. Next term is the renewal of the bill. When holder of bill is not in position to meet the bill on its due date, correct, DROI approaches the drawer with request of extension of time for the payment. That means the debtor is not in position to pay the bill in time, so he'll request to the creditor, please make a fresh bill. You cancel this big bill and make a fresh bill. So fresh bill may be made with the new terms of condition. This is called renewal of the bill. Fresh date will be there, fresh terms of condition will be there. This is called the renewal of the bill. Okay. Now we'll see some situation how the due date is calculated. This is very, very important. So situation related to due date may be like period of bill is given in month, period of bill is given in days. When maturity days fall on public holidays, what will happen? When maturity date has been declared as emergency holiday. So we'll see one by one. When the period of bill, so given in month, how to calculate the due date? In this case, the maturity days is calculated according to calendar months, ignoring the number of days in a month. That means when you are counting the month, you will count month only month. Like February, we count as a 1 month. 8 days are there, it count as a 1 month. Right? So 3 days grace period will be added. I'll take one example here. If bill dated 4th May 2017 is payable after 3 months, then what is maturity date? Maturity date will be 4 August 2017, means May complete, June complete, July complete. Okay, so May, June, July and 4 August plus 3 days grace period. So 7 August will be the maturity date. Clear? When bill, now next case, when bill is given in days. Number that means the period of bill is given in days. Maturity date will be calculated in days only. In that case, will not count the month. Okay. So this exclude the date of transaction, but include the date of payment. Let us see how we calculate the days. But in this case also 3 days of grace period are added. For example, let's say bill dated 5th June 2017 is payable after 65 days. Now start counting. So 5th you remove from the this because this date is not counted. 25 days of June, because June is of 30 days, so 25 June days of June are left. 31 days of July, because July is having 31 days. Then to make it 65, only you require 9 days of August, because 31 plus 9 40, 40 plus 25 65. Clear? Then you have to add 3 days of grace period. So means after 9th August, you add 3, 12th August is coming as a maturity date. Clear? Okay, now what happens if maturity date falls on the national holiday? If due date of bill is on national holiday, then maturity date will be preceding business day. This is very, very important point. That means one day before. If due date of bill falls on 26 January, that is called Republic Day, then it becomes automatically due on 25th January. Clear? If due date falls on 15 August, then it will be next preceding day, that means 14 August. I think this point is clear. Next, when maturity date has been declared emergency holiday, what will happen? If due date of bill is declared as emergency holiday, then due date of bill shall be one day after this date of maturity. For example, if due date of bill is 25th July and it is declared as emergency holiday, then due date will be 26th July. So what is the intention here? Because emergency holiday was not known to anybody, neither to draw, not to draw, not to pay. So next date will be the date of payment. Where is the national holiday? So where in the case of national holiday, because it is well known to everybody, the 26th January or 25th, 15 August or any other holiday, Sunday, Saturday, festival holiday, it is well known to all other persons, so it will be preceded by one day in case of national holiday. Okay, now I'll tell you how to journal entries are made. Okay, when you draw a bill, how journal entries are made. We'll see one by one here. So on 1st August 2018, A is the name of person, sold goods to B. What is the amount? Means realizable amount is 10,000 rupees on credit. So he draws a bill on B. So because A is selling the goods, so A becomes the creditor. On the same day for the amount to be paid on 1st October 2018. So August, September, October. Okay. So after 2 months, B accepted the bill and A got the bill discounted with the bank on 1st August at the rate of 12% per annum. Okay. On due date, the bill was dishonored and noting charges paid by A. So this is the condition I have taken. Clear? Now how to make the journal entries? First, because I will take one by one in books of A and books of A, because A has sold the bill for 10,000 rupees to B. So what is the entries now? See, B's account debit, sales account credit. Clear? I think this is very, very important. So because he's selling on credit, so B is a debtor. So B's account will be debited and sales account will be credited. Now, what is the narration here? Being goods sold to B. Now next what happened? He got discounted. Clear? So next in the same will bill, because he's making the bill. So bill receivable account, and he will credit the B's account. So now bill receivable account, he'll make the entry because he's making the bills of exchange. So bill receivable will be debited and B's account be credited. So being bill drawn on B and accepted by him. Now he is discounting. Okay, he discounting with some discounting is there. So now bank's account be debited, discount account will be debited, and bill receivable account will be 10,000 rupees will be created. So this is the discounting. Okay, that means bank is paying only the 9,800 rupees. Clear? Now next, bill being discounted with the sum rate. Okay, so this is a narration. Now bill is being dishonored. So on due date 1st October it is dishonored. So again what he is doing, he is debiting once again B's account. All noting charges he is taking from the bill on B only. So 50 rupees because he has paid as a cash, and now because he has to credit his bank account, so he has debited the B's account with 10,050 rupees. So these were the entries were made in the A's books of account. Now in the B's books of account, all entries will be reversed because B is debtors. Now see in the books of account of B also. Okay, on 1st August, purchase account, because A is creditor, so his creditor account 10,000 rupees and purchase account he has debited. Okay, now he has accepted the bill, so he is debited the A's account and credited the bills payable account. Correct? Now, so that means he has accepted the bill, so he has made the entry on the 1st August. Now moving ahead, noting charges, because he has paid the noting now, because on the due date on 1st October he has paid the noting charges, so he has debited the noting charges and he has credited the 10,050 rupees to A's account because he has dishonored the A's account. So in this video we have learned promissory note, we have learned bills of exchange, we have learned the checks and what is difference between them. This is very important for a JIB. So I think this concept was very clear. If not clear, you can go through video once again here. So I'll finish my video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Good day.